Welcome back to Bloody Good Chats, where for the next 20 to 30 minutes, you're our best friend. So sit back, relax, and let's have a bloody good time.
Period.
Cheers, my love.
Cheers. It's definitely more like 30 minutes these days.
Girl can yap. Girl can
Honestly,
yap.
I had a disco call. I was just telling Eliza I had a disco call yesterday, and the girl I was speaking to was like, "Oh, I can talk the legs off a chair." And I've never heard that saying before, and I was like,
Or maybe it's the back legs of a donkey.
well, that's what I thought it was. I can talk the back legs of a donkey.
I think the chair one is a thing, though.
Well, it is now. I thought,
But I love when you hear people our age say that stuff.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like,
It's like normally
Wait.
such like an older thing to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really great clarity call. I enjoyed that because she definitely could chat, and so can I. So
Love her.
we're back and forth
match made
yapping.
in heaven.
And look at us, we're already yapping about off-topic stuff, and we're only 30 seconds in.
That we are. Let's do a little cycle check-in, shall we?
Let's do it. You want to go first?
I'll go first. I am cycle day 1, my girls. I got my bleed this morning. So far, so good.
Nice.
Nice and chill. Maybe a day or two later than I thought, but that's what happens because we all know the rule of 3. If you've listened to our last two episodes ago about a healthy cycle.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, go and check that out. But yeah, feeling good. I feel definitely the last few days I could notice myself getting a little bit like agitated and like, oh, fuck. That's literally that noise just then is how I describe the look of your face.
Yeah, no, I can totally relate to that.
We should do that. Oh my god, that would be a really good video. Like a game that we could play is you have to. Oh my god, I just had so many ideas pop in my head. Okay, so we could do,
Guys, menstrual phase intuition coming in hot.
Yeah, we could do. We have to make certain sounds, and we have to guess like what phase the other person is trying to represent.
We did play that.
And we could do like vegetables and like household items, but we have to like
Guess the phase that they represent.
Yes.
Well, we did that in Morocco, remember? And you were like a banana.
Yeah, but we didn't do the phases.
No, it wasn't menstrual cycle related
That would be a really funny video, even just for our story.
Yeah, or TikTok.
Okay.
Guys, we're trying to post better on TikTok. We're trying to post more like just random shit. So go give us a follow on there if you want more
Yeah.
vegetable related menstrual cycle stuff.
But yeah, moral of the story, feeling good. I could just notice myself getting a little bit more agitated, but I know that that's just how the little phase goes sometimes. Took a couple of deep breaths, got through it, sat in the sun a bit more, and yeah, feeling really good. What about you? What day are you and how are you checking in?
I am day 9 today, and I'm checking in good. I feel like I'm excited for the cycle. I was really energized like yesterday. I feel like I was like, that's like follicular. like it starts
like
slow and then it's like
it's like a boiling kettle.
yeah,
like,
and then ovulation is like
wow.
yeah, and then luteal is
God, that's gonna say if you're wearing headphones right now, I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I felt like that yesterday. Wow, you can really describe a feeling through a sound, can't you? I felt like that yesterday, and then I definitely feel like today I've kind of like mellowed out a bit, and it's like I kind of was like soaring, and now I'm like, no, I was like inclining, and now I'm soaring, and I'm just kind of like on that high, and it might go up, it might go down, who knows? But we always speak about like transition parts to the cycle, and I feel like yesterday and today have been like my transition over to the follicular phase. So yeah, I'm feeling good, and just feeling that follicular energy. Got so much energy, you could just run and do everything, and like I'm texting everyone, and I'm like, hey, I'm back. That's how it feels. Hey,
yeah, you're like, I'm here. Where have you been?
Bang, I'm back. So where have you been, bitch?
We said that last time.
Second time we've.
God, I love that show. If anyone, Summer Heights High. Chris
Where have
Lilly.
you bloody been?
Where have bloody Mr. G? Where have
He
you
is
been,
so
bitch? Thank God you're here. Grandma's died.
He's so inappropriate, but so funny.
Yes.
Anyway, we hope you guys are well too. thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for listening. I feel like we've had a few more comments come through on Spotify, which is really exciting and so surreal. As we said.
Someone actually, I don't know, I haven't actually showed you. I was going to share it on our story and I completely forgot. It's typical me. I'm like, oh, that would be good to put on our story. Doesn't do it.
No matter how many fucking shared albums I create.
I do have it screenshotted, so maybe I'll share it after this. This is a good little reminder. But a girl reached out and said, been listening to the podcast, been absolutely loving it, and you've inspired me to come off the pill because I really want to track my cycle more closely. And I feel like I can't do that on the pill. So shout out to you, my girl.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for listening, and go you for taking inspiration from that.
Yeah, so
excited
cool
for that transition for you. I honestly wish, like, not to toot our own horn, I wish that we had us when I was coming off the pill too. It would have just been so much easier.
So much easier. Yeah. So cool. It's such a surreal job. I literally just got off a call with a girl and we were having a chat about her situation, and she was mentioning that she's been having a really hard time with her cycle over many years, yada yada, and has had to go on the pill and also take some antidepressants. And then I replied to her and I said, I just want to let you know it's okay to like lean into these tools. Like that's what they're there for, and there's absolutely no judgment. And she just, like, you could just hear, she just took a breath. She was like, you have no idea how much that means to me because I look up to you girls so much. And she's like, it's a weird parasocial relationship. Like, you guys have no idea who I am, but I've always thought you would think, what the fuck, why is that chick on antidepressants and the pill and stuff? And anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but it's a funny, it's cool to be in this role and have these weird relationships. Even though we don't know you, we send you so much love.
Yeah, for sure. I actually, rolling off that, I was going to reply to a question that we had about on our Q&A that we post on Monday, and it was like thoughts on the copper IUD. But I deleted the story that I was going to post because I felt like I was coming off like too aggressive. But the aggressiveness was me saying like, I don't give a fuck what you're on. I do not care. All I care about is that you're on that because you want to be on that. Like, that's what I care about. But I felt like my response was like me saying, I don't give a fuck what you're on. I was like, no, like, I genuinely care about, like, this whole hormonal thing, but like when it comes to choosing a contraception for yourself or like going on antidepressants or leaning into like those kinds of tools, go for it, as long as that's something that you've chose to do. Like 100%.
100%. But hopefully you girls can take a little bit of inspiration from today's session as well. Lesson, not session. That's my hormone harmony.
Welcome to therapy.
Today's
episode.
I said lesson. Wow.
Wait, what did you say? Lesson. Episode.
Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the stress cycle, because we live little busy stress lives, a lot of us, and some of us can live with a lot of low-level chronic stress, and maybe we don't realize we're stressed until we get burnt out and it becomes all too much, or our body speaks first, so we don't really feel stress, but our periods are painful, they're irregular, and we're like, what? I'm fine. And or we're having breakouts, whatever it might be. So today we kind of want to walk through the mechanisms of what's happening in your body. Yeah. But also give you some inspiration of what our favourite way is, because we're two stressed little girls too.
Yeah, for sure. Way more than than I lead on, I think. You're definitely better at like keeping level-headed than I am.
I think yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like you're just more vocal about shit.
That is true.
I also feel like you love putting mayo on everything. So sometimes when you like say you're stressed, I'm like,
dude, that confused me so much. I was like, I never have mayo.
Like, it's an Australian saying, guys. Like, you put
hello.
We're back. Third time
lucky, guys. We just had a nice little interruption from our pool man. Shout out to him for cleaning the pool.
Embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
I hate that stuff. I hate like anything,
this is our job, but I don't want anyone to know it's my job.
Like filming in public, like the fact that we're sitting here with like little red mics. No, you know what it is that there's no context. Like, he has no context as to why we were sitting here like this. Yeah. Like, I wanted to almost be
think
like,
we're important.
Yeah. About the fact that I put mayo on things.
Yeah, so like
as a metaphor.
Yeah, like you love like making stuff sound so like more exciting. So I feel like, do you do that with your stress?
That's a good question.
Or are you actually like, because sometimes when you say like, I'm shitting myself, like it sounds really bad. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, is it really that bad?
Probably depends what situation it is. Stomach dropped the other day at something and I was like, that was so random. And it was this morning because I was so sore from the gym and I thought I was like getting sick because, you know, when your muscles are sore, you're like, oh my God, I've got a fever.
Yeah.
And I like walked into the coffee shop this morning and like my stomach dropped because I was thinking about like getting sick and I was like, don't stress over that. Like you're going to make yourself sick if you're thinking about that. Yeah, I think I'm a bit of a hypochondriac sometimes, not going to lie.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their thing.
But Eliza is right. I'm definitely way more vocal about my stress. Like I remember our very first episode, Eliza asked, what do you wish people knew about you? Like what's something that you wish people knew more about you? And I was like, there is nothing because I say everything. Like I don't keep anything relatively. Like I don't keep anything in. Like if I'm feeling like something, I'll say it.
Yeah.
Straight away.
So good. Love that about you.
Let it out.
Let it out, girl.
Anyway, we wanted to talk about the stress loop today, guys, because as Eliza said, low levels of constant stress are impacting us on a big level. And obviously, if we think back to, we always compare ourselves to like our ancestors. Do you want to hold my hand?
We just touched hands, guys.
Because way back then, obviously, well, not even way back in like ancestral days, like I'm thinking like, the last 30 years, menstrual problems have increased. And yes, people are being more vocal about them as well. So it's like that, there are two different sides to this story. But I do think that there is a lot of the modern day influence that keeps ourselves in that stress state.
Yeah.
And that also then bleeds into our menstrual cycle, no pun intended. So that's why we wanted to speak to the stress cycle, because it is something that's really important. It's something that we focus on in our cohorts, reducing stress of the body. So let's dive in.
Let's dive in. So this concept is taken from the incredible book Burnout. The author's name has completely gone from my mind, but we'll put that in the show notes. Incredible book. So if you want to dive like deeper into this, definitely go give it a read. But we're going to give you a little top level overview so you can go and use this straight away. So pretty much the stress cycle is the cycle that our body wants to move through when we are faced with stress. So what kind of happens is when we're faced with stress, our body will pump out adrenaline and cortisol, and it does this to get extra energy to our muscles so we can go out and fight the danger. Because if we think about couple thousand years ago or even 100 years ago, when there was a threat, it was usually like a tribe coming to attack us, or we were going to war, or we had to run away from something, or whatever it might have been. So, or facing a really bad illness. So our body would pump out adrenaline and cortisol to give us energy to fight off the danger that was in front of us. And that would usually finish in some sort of running, fighting, or if it was sickness, like moving through the sickness. So our body would actually be using up the energy, the adrenaline and cortisol that's being pumped into our bloodstream, which would then mean that once it's been used up, our body can bring itself back into balance and we go back into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest system. However, with our modern day lifestyle, we get stressed from different things, which are all very valid. We've got 100 emails we need to reply to. Our boyfriend sent us something that pissed us off. Someone cut us off in traffic. We open up Instagram and we feel self-conscious about something, and it causes that same stress cycle to happen, except we don't actually close it. So adrenaline, cortisol gets pumped into our bloodstream because our body senses danger, and our body doesn't know the difference between what is like life-threatening and what is not. So all this adrenaline, cortisol gets pumped up in our bloodstream, but we don't use it. We put our phone down and go about our day. We suppress our emotions. We just keep going on with life because there isn't that life-threatening danger. I hope people are picking up what I'm putting down.
There's no education about closing the stress loop either.
Yes.
And there's no way, like, we all know what cortisol faces. We all know what the impact of, like, inflammation on the body can have, but we don't know why it's happening, and linking it back to not closing that stress cycle can be something that's super beneficial for not just your menstrual health but all areas of health as well.
Yeah, and highly recommend, guys, look at like little documentaries on animals and stuff. You can see them do this. So if a lion is chasing a gazelle and the gazelle gets away because she's a little baddie and she doesn't want to be eaten that day, she's obviously got a lot of stress in her system, and you'll physically see that gazelle shake its whole body to get that out of its system, get that energy out and bring itself back into balance so it can go about its day. So we're just big old animals at the end of the day, but we can forget that. So we find that with ourselves, with all of our clients, that making sure we have time in our day to close the stress loop makes a huge difference in helping our body move through that cycle and come back into balance.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to take up too much of your day either.
No.
An example could be something as simple as you get to work, you open up your laptop, you see an email, and it's like a bad review from a customer. And that like instantly makes your heart start racing. You get like a little bit sweaty, your stomach drops a bit, and you're like, oh no, like I don't like this feeling. That's not a nice feeling. But then you just ignore it and you go on your laptop and you try to get on with your day, but it's always in the back of your mind. You're like, oh, that review, like that's really getting to me. That's really getting to me. It's those kinds of things that you're not addressing and you're pushing to the back of your mind and you're suppressing. And then when you get home at night and you're scrolling on your phone and you're ignoring, or you're watching TV, you're ignoring, you're not addressing, and then you go to sleep and your mind's racing. It's doing that in like that constant state that's going to end up with us in situations where we're having cycle challenges, because the body keeps score, the body doesn't lie. It's going to tell you things before you even realize that. So something as simple as getting that email, being like, holy shit, this makes me feel horrible, like I'm having a bit of a freak out. Go and freak out and shake it off. And that's what we're going to go into now as some of our favorite tips to deal with a feeling like that. Because even though it doesn't seem something that's life-threatening, it is that constant feeling of like us not addressing what it is that we're going through that's building up in our body.
Yeah, 100%.
Hope you guys can relate to that. That was the only example that came to my mind.
No, I think that was a great example. And then that's what leads to burnout, right, guys? It all just becomes a bit too much. And you're like, I don't even know why I'm so exhausted. And it's like, well, because for the last 6 months of your life, you haven't really been processing any of the emotions that have been coming up or any of the stresses. So it's kind of like brushing your teeth. It's a little habit that you can have every single day. And we really encourage you girls to not lean into these practices only when you're stressed. This is something that you can lean into every single day. Obviously, when you're feeling stressed, you might need to lean in a little bit more, a little bit longer. But this is something you want to do every single day and make that a habit, because all too often we just lean into these things when we need them. But the true magic happens is when you lean into them constantly. Constantly, because you then you get to move past the yucky emotions and you actually get to feel the good emotions and learn about yourself, because you're actually making time in your day to uncover all of these incredible things that maybe you wouldn't have time to usually.
And if we were going to speak to this in like a phase specific way as well, there's times of the cycle where you're more stress resilient than others as well. So the more stress resilient phases being that follicular and that ovulation phase. And if you're moving through those phases and you're like, oh, it's okay, like I feel good, I can deal with it. I don't have time to deal with this today, but it's okay, I feel fine. Even if you're feeling fine but you're not addressing those things, watch them come up for you in the luteal phase as well. And you'll be like, why is this thing that impacted me like a few weeks ago, a few cycles ago, a few years ago, why is this coming up for me now? It's because you haven't addressed it. And in your luteal phase, it never lies.
And the veil will drop and everything will come out in your luteal phase. And then on the flip side of that, in your luteal phase, as you girls probably already connected the dots, you are less stress resilient. So that's a time in your cycle where you might want to lean in a little bit more, give yourself a little bit extra time to have these stress relieving practices.
And the reason why your body changes its stress response through the cycle is really cool, and it's biologically programmed to do so because in that follicular phase and the ovulatory phase, your body is hoping to fall pregnant, and that is where your stress response takes a step back because you want to be chill, you want to be relaxed so that you can have that egg become fertilized. And then in that luteal phase, you could potentially be pregnant, so your body's more on high alert to protect that pregnancy, so your stress response is higher.
Yeah.
So that's the biological reason behind why your stress response changes.
Very cool stuff.
Super cool. Aren't we amazing?
And we always say, this is like one of our 2 favorite words, is this helps you become more proactive than reactive. So use this knowledge to your advantage rather than using it as an excuse.
Yes.
Like, you can't, do this because I'm in my luteal phase. Like, use what can you do, and how can you set yourself up for success, knowing that you might be a little bit more easily irritable during that time. Anyway, let's get into it. What's one of your favorite?
I'm going to be so simple and boring right now, but I've got so many now. I'm like, which one do I want to choose first? Okay, I think the most impactful one for me is no distractions. Like, just sitting there and like being bored, because I feel like for me, I'm definitely more of like an emotionally, mentally stressed kind of gal. Like, I feel like it shows up in like loud thoughts and like a racing mind, as opposed to like my body being tense. I think I'm more like in my head. So for me to put my phone down and just like completely be like not even doing anything, like just go sit at the beach or something, watch the ocean. Even if I don't have time for that, it could just be if I'm driving somewhere, just no music and just staring out the window and obviously watching where I'm driving.
I love a silent drive.
Like, undistracted time is definitely something that helps me to just sift through my mind a bit, because I think sometimes I feel like when I don't have time to sift through my thoughts and like have those conversations with myself, because I'm always talking to myself in my head, that's when I can feel a bit like overwhelmed and like I need that time for myself. So undistracted time would be my first one.
One of mine would be sitting in the sun. I don't know what it is, guys. I just love it. I'm not telling you to go out and get sunburnt, but I do really love sitting in nature and getting the sun on my skin. I feel like that is so regulating for me, for my nervous system. It's my happy place. And I think that's kind of maybe where I'm taking this, is just going in your happy place. Your happy place might be the beach, could be your car, could be your bedroom, but just sitting in my happy place, like my safe space. For me, that is anywhere where the sun is shining and I am under that sunshine. So I don't know, it just makes me feel good, and I feel like it just re-energizes me. It feels like I'm very connected to nature as well, because I almost feel like I'm charging up, you know?
You're a little solar panel.
So yeah, that's a big one for me, is whenever feeling stressed, going to my happy place, and for me that would be sitting in the sun.
Nice. One for my next one would be more of a physical one, because again, if we think of that gazelle that Eliza was talking about and they're like shaking and moving, I think that I release a lot through like movement as well. And if you look into your moon sign, guys, it will tell you a lot about what you need to do, manage your emotional side to yourself. And mine is movement. So I really love headphones in, good tunes on, dancing in my room. I'm a little bit of a slut for the mirror as well. Like, I love, like, looking at myself when I'm dancing too. I feel like that always brings me joy, and I'm like, yeah, girl, get it.
Love that.
So it's a bit of a confidence boost too. But also, if I'm not in the mood for a dance, just getting outside and going for a walk. And but walking until I'm like, whoa, that was a good walk. And I'm like, my legs are sore and I feel like I've like put effort into it. Not like a dilly-dally, but like I'm walking with intention. I usually do that if I'm like pissed at something. I'm like, I need to get out with a walk.
Move the energy. That's a big one, guys, as well. Like, I think there's a lot of stress relieving practices out there that are like sit still and just be, and sometimes that can actually make things worse than better. So I think recognizing, like, do I feel like I have really lots of pent up energy? And if you do, movement, singing, dancing. I love playing really loud music in the car and singing along. Like, I feel like I can't remember the last time I've danced in my room. Like, I feel like that was...
It's different. Because I feel like with a partner, you don't do that as much. Because I know that when I was with my ex, I did not sing and dance in the bedroom.
Yeah, because I feel like I would not want Jessie to... She'd be like, well, what the... Like, which is weird, because we have like such an open relationship. But I don't know, it's just
not
like...
that kind of open relationship.
Yeah, not that, but like a loving, we're very, very happy and stable, and we talk about
every... He wouldn't judge Eliza for doing that.
But I don't know, maybe that is the thing. But I think, singing in the car. But where I'm going with this is, recognizing, like, when you're feeling stressed, having that self reflective question. Do I feel more like that pent-up energy, or am I needing maybe a bit more self-soothing, which might be journaling, breath work, meditation?
That's a good recognition to have, I think. It's like the first question that you need to ask yourself is like, what do I actually need right now?
Yeah, what do I need? Yeah. That's a really strong question. But yeah, off the back of that movement, love training. Training is also one of my happy places. I love moving my body. I feel really good. It makes me, dopamine, all of that good stuff. So yeah, another one for me would be movement, and that's a practice that I lean into pretty much every day, whether that be walking, going to the gym, doing something. But yeah, movement is a huge one. Very similar to what Maya just said.
I think my next one would definitely be a kind of combination of the two, of like stillness and movement, which for me would be yoga. And that can be something as simple as, I don't really go to many frequent classes anymore, but I love to do yoga in my bedroom at nighttime, and that's literally the biggest thing for me, is like syncing whatever movement I'm doing with my breath. And I feel like that just brings me back into my body so quickly, and it solves so many issues as well. Like, I feel like, don't underestimate a little bit of like breath awareness whilst you're moving your body. I don't know, it just feels amazing afterwards. And I think all of those feelings of like, oh my God, everything's so overwhelming, they kind of just melt away. And then you're like, no, I'm actually really capable of this. I just needed a second to fill my own cup.
Yeah, 100%. Another one for me, God, I might just combine the two, but yeah, love breath work, amazing. But also, and I'm reluctant to say this one because I don't want you girls to feel like you have to invest in something like this, but love the Shakti mat.
Yeah.
We actually did get sent these, being completely transparent, and they have been incredible. Just lying on that, what it is, it's acupressure points. So it's like these, literally like laying on a nail bed. Sounds not fun at all. The first like 2 to 5 minutes are not fun.
No, they're not.
But it is so soothing, and there's like lots of, I haven't actually done that much research into it, but it's backed by Ayurvedic, I think, or Chinese medicine, and it's all about like acupressure points and how, releasing that can help release emotions and tension in the body and all of that stuff. So I really, really love doing that at night. Legs up the wall are a great one. But yeah, that's just like a little insight into some of our favorite ones. Maybe to kind of get some ideas flowing, maybe we go rapid fire and we just list out some other ones that you could do. So you go first. Oh, you go.
But I just wanted to riff off what Eliza said about like the first 2 minutes of the Shakti mat being the hardest. I think that goes for everything as well. Like all of the things that we've just listed off, like for the first 2 minutes of anything that I'm doing, I feel like my brain is in 50 different places at once.
Can't be fucked.
Yeah, and it's like, can't be bothered, I've got to do this instead, I don't have time for myself. Think of all these other things you could be doing. It's always that first 2 minutes that you've got to push through, and then it's like, oh no, this is a priority. So I just wanted to mention that as well.
Treat yours and start small, girls. Start micro habits are an incredible way to become more consistent with things. Could be 1 deep breath in the morning. Literally, that could be it for a whole week. Start really small, but treat it like an appointment that you cannot cancel. Like it's an appointment that you've got in, and if you cancel it, you get like a fee. You don't need to pay a fee, but treat it like that, because that is how important these things really are for your overall health.
I'll leave my bank details in the caption, and you guys can pay me the fee if you don't do it.
That would be a great
So I really hope you don't do it. Okay, rapid fire. I am going to say just shaking your hands.
Journaling.
Dry brushing.
Sauna.
Oh, that was my humming.
I was about to say that. Singing.
Jumping up and down.
Swimming. Like getting submerging in water.
Very cleansing. Lion's breath.
Oh, damn. Lighting a candle.
Oh, that's a good one. I was going to say brushing your hair, but I actually get more stressed when I brush my hair.
I've got one.
Go.
It's kind of like that, but yeah, getting yourself ready. Doing that as like a self-love practice. I'm gonna make myself look good.
Yeah.
Whether that be putting hair oil in, doing your makeup a certain way, picking out a gorgeous outfit, like that is really soothing for the nervous system.
And so good to start the day in that state as well. Like, I'm ready for the day, bring it on.
Yeah.
Another one would be maybe just a nice affirmation. My one at the moment has been, my life is sacred. So when I get ready, my life is sacred, my life is sacred.
Love that so much.
Yeah.
For me, a big one that I actually didn't touch on is cleaning.
Yes.
That is so self-soothing for me.
Yeah.
Cleaning my wardrobe, cleaning the kitchen bench, cleaning the pantry.
Rearranging. I love a good rearranging.
Turns me on.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's good.
Jesse, take notes. What do I do when I'm really stressed? Yeah, lifting heavy weights is like a anger release, I think.
Can't believe we haven't brought this one up. Calling a friend, hanging out with the family,
talking,
speaking to other people. That is a big one. Getting it out.
Yeah.
The last thing that I want to say, I'll hand it over to Maya to finish her off. But these should be fun. Yes, as Maya said, getting started is the hardest part. But once you're doing the practice, you should be feeling better. If you're like, I hate this, find a new practice. Yes, it might get started. If you feel a bit challenged, move past that. But once you've moved past that, if you still feel like, oh my God, this sucks, and also know you can chop and change. 1 week you might dance, 1 week you might do journaling and then you get sick of it. 1 week you might do meditation. We forgot meditation. That's a big one.
Big meditation. There you go.
So yeah, chop and change. Keep it fun. Keep it fresh. It should not feel like a chore. It should be like a beautiful self-love practice that just makes you feel good in the soul.
Yes. I think to finish it off as well, if you guys, just to really sing home how important it is to close the stress loop with a soothing practice or a physical practice. Think about when you were a toddler and you would have a tantrum and you'd end up screaming and crying until you were like blue in the face. How much of a release that was as well. Like until it's the point where we become adults and we realize that maybe screaming and crying and throwing ourselves on the floor isn't socially acceptable, that we stop doing that and we suppress all of our emotions and how we're feeling. So we've got to find other ways to actually release those emotions that we're feeling, when as a toddler we would show that in like a screaming manner.
Yes.
So it's about finding those new ways to emotionally regulate and just lift that weight off our shoulders so that our body doesn't speak to us through things like dis-ease, menstrual cramps, menstrual cycle challenges, acne, all of those kinds of things. So this stuff is really important.
So important. I'm going to run because I can smell my sausages burning. And I'll let Maya finish this episode off.
Well, it's been so nice having a chat with you guys. We love you so, so much. Please comment on this post what your favourite stress relieving practice is. We will link the book that we were referring to in the show notes, and make sure that you share this episode with someone else who you feel might benefit from the words that we're speaking today. Sending you so much love, and Eliza's going to go enjoy her sausages now. Bye!